This is a story about an old car and a stupid plan. Because the good ideas are usually the boring ones. Because hey, what could possibly go wrong? Hello and welcome back to another episode of Escape to the East from E34 Expeditions. Last time we ended in Serbia, and that's where we'll start right now. Let's go. So Serbian people like cars. You also see many German cars, but also many German cars with German license plates. And that is not because many Germans come here to do their vacation, even though they should because it's beautiful, but because many Serbs live in Germany, but Serbs have a strong, tend to have a strong sense of home and family, so they come home for vacations to visit. Even many of them live here and have a German car with German registration because they don't need technical inspection. Then I was also told by some Serbs that if you live abroad, you're expected to come home for your vacation, not to go to Italy, for example, and instead. So Serbs are quite international. They live all over the place, but they know where their home is, and that's where they come for their vacation and free time. That's also why I've got many Serbs here that speak very good German. For example, I spoke German with quite a few people because either they live in Germany, maybe they were born in Germany, moved back here later. Many different variations of Serbs coming from somewhere in the world and ending up back in Serbia, either to live, for business, or for vacation. I'm heading east now, and my Serbian friend recommended me to take a route that passes a ski resort, which is a nice mountain road. So that's what I'm doing right now. Made it to the ski resort Koparnik, quite high up in the mountains. Had to pay a small fee to use this road, so this road better get awesome. But so far it definitely is. Well, this is a truly amazing view. Right now we're on 1,800 meters over sea level. And if I compare this mountain road with Montenegro, it's quite obvious there are much less tourists. I mean, there are a few cars driving here, but they're all locals. Some guys that are related to the construction works maybe. One motorbike passed me, but I don't see any foreigners with their rental cars driving up and down the mountain road. And contrary to mountain roads in Montenegro, so you do notice that Serbia is much less touristy, but very beautiful. So I'm currently driving through the city of Niš in the southeast of Serbia, and interesting fact about Niš is that Constantine the Great was born in Niš. I'm not really having a big look at the city, unfortunately, because I already stayed last night in a hotel, so I don't really feel like staying in a hotel again. I miss my rooftop tent, so much rather than staying in a hotel here, I want to camp. But it's already 6:30 in the evening, and if I want to get a good place to camp, I have to head out to the nature, and don't really have time to look at the city of Niš, unfortunately. That's a perfect road leading me directly to my camping spot. What a nice looking tractor. Thanks, guys. In case you ever wondered how a small village in the southeast of Serbia looks like, this is how. Small houses in a small valley surrounded by mountains. So this road looks very promising. In order to find these spots, I often use the app Park4Night. It's an app where basically people can post spots where they slept at night in a car. That's why it's called Park4Night. And it's quite convenient because rather than searching for a long time, you just look for a spot close to you, and makes it easier. Right here it looks like the road is getting actually pretty rough. It looks like it was, well, not fixed, but flattened out a bit here, and that's why it's so rough. Maybe it got washed away a bit at the end of the winter when the snow melted, and up front it looks again a bit better. So safe to say I'm somewhere in the middle of nowhere. The small road that I followed before ended at some abandoned building. I didn't see a car for the last 10 kilometers. But randomly there was some dude walking along the road and he looked a bit strange. Let's hope he won't visit me tonight, because it's only 700 meters to my camp spot from here. And I have no idea where this guy appeared from. And probably this guy thinks I'm the guy who's weird, so should be fine. So it looks like we made it. I'll still explore a little bit on foot and see if we take this spot or another one. But it looks promising here. Found a spot. Theodor is standing behind me. Comfy place to sit. Beautiful view over the mountains. There's another spot a bit down the hill, but then there won't be bench and it's a kind of convenient and comfy here. So, well, that's what I call a comfy camp. Small fire on this table. Behind the fire is my stove, cooking some pasta, and Theodor in the background with the tent already prepared. I think this will be a good evening. So I'm sitting at my fire, eating my dinner, and I don't know if you hear it, but they're very strange owl noises in the background. Now they're stopped, of course. So it's a nice spooky atmosphere, but I'm not complaining. Theodor waiting here. That's part of it, huh? Update from the rooftop tent. I'm on almost 1,000 meters here, a bit exposed, and it's quite windy, and that's actually quite a thing. You can hear the tent in the background. Quite noisy, and before there's also some rain. Not the best night tonight in the tent. Wind is certainly an issue on the rooftop. I think I had the first not really good night in the tent today. It was really windy. Like gusts of wind, and then it was again totally silent, and then again super windy, and then there was strong rain, so it was, well, not that relaxing. I want to show you some small, well, not trick, but some small thing I want to do with Theodor now. One could call it a small fix, even though I'm not fixing anything except for the inspection lamp which is on. And of course inspection was done before the lamp came on, but I just didn't reset it. And that's what I'll do right now, because it's annoying a little bit. And I've got a special tool to do that, and I'll show you how it works. First I have to turn on the ignition, but not the engine. So this is where you can connect a diagnosis computer to this car. And now I want to first put my special tool into point number 19, the small numbers next to them, and then connect it with 7. And I have to hold this connection for 12 seconds. Okay, 12 seconds over. Take it out again. So did it work? Let's see. Perfect. No service light anymore on. Green lights. I like green lights. That's good. Now we can continue our tour. Traffic here. Crazy. At daytime people come here, apparently. And now I'm heading towards Bulgaria. Yay, a cyclist. Good for him. Zooming down the hills. Arrived in Bela Planka, a small random town in the east of Serbia, and I just want to show a few impressions in case you were wondering how a small random town in East Serbia looks like. And here we go, driving again an unpaved road, this time heading straight to Serbia, but this road will merge into another road shortly before the border. Small roads are always better than big roads. I saw interesting small old abandoned villages on the way, or semi-abandoned, beautiful nature. Much better than just taking a tunnel and suddenly being in Bulgaria. Heading straight to an international border, entering Bulgaria from Serbia, somewhere in the mountains. That's a small border, not much going on here. Well, let's continue, let's see what happens. So I made it to Bulgaria, and the Serbian side of the border was the most thorough and the nicest border experience on this trip so far. First time I was asked to step out of the vehicle, and everything was checked, my luggage, the car itself and everything. But I had the feeling the border guards were rather, well, maybe a bit bored, and they liked the car. So we ended up having a nice chat. I have 2 more Instagram followers that are both border guards. And yeah, unfortunately I didn't quite dare to film because there was also Frontex standing next to us. But anyway, absolutely nice guys. Big shout out to the Serbs. Very friendly people. I have to say the Bulgarians, the Bulgarian controls were not comparably nice, let's put it this way. But yeah, big win for Serbia. I'll definitely visit this country again. To recap on Serbia in general, it was a very, very nice country. One noticed that there are less Western European tourists there. I didn't see any, I think. I mean, there are some definitely, but I just didn't see any. Nice landscapes, good roads, beautiful mountains, curious, friendly people. Definitely a country I'll visit again. I think this visit was a bit too short. There's still many other spots that I should see, I guess, in this beautiful place. So Theodor has the original BMW Schlechtwege-Paket, which means bad road package. But it was also called, not quite officially, but Osteuropa-Paket, like Eastern Europe package. Because back in the days when Theodor was new, Eastern Europe had very bad roads. But by now I basically crossed Eastern Europe from one end to the other. I mean, I'm in Bulgaria now. Next is Turkey, that's not Europe anymore. And the roads so far are absolutely perfect. So yeah, I guess Osteuropa-Paket is a bit outdated term. Roads are great here. Just past Pernik and now heading to Sofia. Somehow today the progress is much better than planned, even though I made huge detours just because I can. So I decided to already head to Sofia today. Had a good night in Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria. And I want to show you Theodor's parking because it looks nice and sketchy, but there are many cameras, so I guess it's safe. Okay, so time for some facts about Sofia. Sofia is inhabited for over 7,000 years, and that makes it one of the cities with the longest inhabited past in Europe. So a lot of culture meets here. It used to be part of the Roman Empire, it also used to be part of the Ottoman Empire, and of course of the Soviet Union. So yeah, also the architecture reflects all these different eras. So within walking distance you have a synagogue, a church, a cathedral, everything, which is actually kind of nice because it proves how tolerant also the people here are. The different religions have space. Behind me you can see a church, and right in front of me is a synagogue. Sofia is at the foot of the Vitosha mountain, which you can see in the background. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but there's still a little bit of snow at the mountain top. And right now I'm walking down the main pedestrian street, so definitely is a nice surrounding, a nice scenery. The city's motto is ever growing, never aging. And I guess that also explains why it's inhabited for over 7,000 years, because it always reinvents itself. It goes through different episodes of history. And yeah, it stays a beautiful place. Okay, so I just went shopping. I found this old shop and they have some tapes. And since Theodor has a tape machine, I decided why not get some more tapes. Okay, that was a nice stroll through the center of Sofia. Absolutely beautiful city. And now I'm going back down the dodgy ramp to the garage to pick up good old Theodor, who's waiting there for me. And then I'm heading straight to Itai, my old friend from high school, to check out his beer brewing company. Look at this brewing facility right here. And this is Itai, the god of beer in Bulgaria.
As you can see in Hopfen, and what does this say?
Hopfen und Malz, Gott erhalts.
Gott erhalts.
Absolutely, yeah, that's what we're doing here in Bulgaria.
If we do the German style, which most of my beers here are German styles, we have steps. So we start at 55 degrees Celsius and we go all the way up to 80 degrees Celsius. So in the Lauterton, after we completed the mash, we transfer it through a pump and we turn the rate on. In the beginning it's faster, but then we slow it down because some people would say don't use it during lautering. I've noticed that on this machine I need to have it always moving constantly, because what happens is here, as you can notice on the bottom, we have a false bottom, a filter. And it's kind of a natural filtration of the grain.
So Ita is basically working alone here, making absolutely amazing beer, following the German Reinheitsgebot, so he doesn't add anything except for barley, malt, water and yeast to his beer. And yeah, he still manages to make amazing fruity, complex flavors, which you would expect from craft beer, but you wouldn't expect from such a pure recipe as Itai uses. ID Brew is still in the beginning phase. It's a very young brewery. I guess it'll be a rising star quite soon, so make sure to at least subscribe to their Instagram, and if you are from Bulgaria, ask your local pub or bar or restaurant to, yeah, try to get the ID brew into their restaurant because it's really good. And I think they have to get a bit more famous. They absolutely deserved it. Yeah, so in case you make it to Bulgaria, make sure to try the tasty beer from Itai, from ID Brew. Thanks a lot for having me and showing me around Itai. Yeah, and now I'm heading further towards east. I guess I'll enter Turkey probably already tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So I have to admit I'm a bit excited about leaving Europe. Feeling the real adventure will start probably once I pass the Bosporus. So that's where I'm heading now. But that's still quite a few hours of ride to go. Now it's about 5 in the afternoon, so quite soon I think it'll be time for me to look for a good place to sleep. Cook some food. I ended up again steering to a place from park tonight because yeah, I checked out some spots, they all didn't look promising, so I made a detour to a lake and look at it. It looks, I think, quite nice. Here we go. Okay, this is really slippery. I hope I get back up tomorrow. Maybe a challenge, I think. This is absolutely perfect. Look at it. Had a wonderful camp at the Lakeside. Also a good spot for drone shots. I hope you like them. And now I'm heading back up the bit slippery field. And when going down it was super slippery, so let's see if I will manage to get up the hill. Because it was quite muddy, and this mud, if it goes uphill, can be a real problem without four-wheel drive. And even then, because the mud goes into the thread of the tires and blocks everything. So let's see how this goes. But in Germany we say Geschwindigkeit bringt Sicherheit, and this is precisely how I'll try to get through here. But I also don't want to destroy Theodor, so have to be careful. Wow, some fence here with wires. I think I can do it with some more speed, but first I have to get this fence pole out of the way, which was a reason for me to reduce speed, which, well, had a fatal result. Let's do that. Okay, time for some speed and power. There we go. Oh yes, that was a wet bit, the rest will be fine. Speed definitely did this. Easy. Okay, time for a small fix. I don't really like that this bar is like hanging low a bit. It's not really straight anymore. Because of the weight of the tent and because the connection is not really in the middle at the sides, but rather a bit in the middle. So I bought some aluminium profiles, which I will attach somewhere at the outside. So basically this will hold probably pretty well just because it's squeezed really tight between the rack and the tent. But since safety is one of the biggest concerns on this trip, the travel agency provided me some loop and hook tapes. I guess that's all they're called. Luckily the packaging is in English. I guess you know what I mean. I guess it's not the most professional way to fix them, but I mean they'll basically hold without them. But I'm still connecting them to the tent. And like this, they won't budge. It should be super safe.
Great success.
I'm in the east of Bulgaria, just past Plovdiv. We had a small stop and I went to DM and to Lidl, making me a bit sentimental going to my German shops. Anyway, I got some good food. Found a cute cat who also got some food from DM. And now I'm heading towards Turkey. I won't enter Turkey today probably, but rather tomorrow. And before that I will still have a small stop at some junkyard because my Turkish friend Mert from Istanbul who has a car repair shop, asked me for a spare part, and I'll pick it up there and smuggle it over the border. Let's see how that goes. So that's a small side quest. I'll keep you up to date. Here we go again arriving at some junkyard, hoping not to get stabbed this time somewhere in Bulgaria. If you didn't see my last junkyard experience, make sure to check out episode 2, where I visited an awesome junkyard in Bosnia. Picked up the part that was not very stabby or scary. Just some guy was hanging out at the strand and he had some dodgy parts in his car. I got a few of them. I'm currently heading straight to a place to sleep tonight, and my route tomorrow will actually lead me through Greece for a few kilometers. It's the director's route, so why not? And I'm sleeping really close to the border, so let's see if I'll have some encounters with the border police. But it's a border between Bulgaria and Greece, above this European Union border, and I think that's much better than being close to the Turkish border, because the borders between European Union and Turkey, well, they're a bit more heavily guarded. So yeah, European borders it is. I found a great place to camp, beautiful sunset. So yeah, it's a great camp here. And tomorrow have a very short visit to Greece, and then directly continue to Turkey. About to enter Greece, and you do notice there are many police cars with a lot of border controls. Yeah, I guess because of migration, the border situation is a bit tense. And also yesterday I already saw many border control guys, so yeah, different atmosphere here. Crossed into Greece, the controls are only interested in the other direction. Going east, nobody really cares. And yeah, it's still Schengen, so I didn't have to show a passport, I could just drive through. Now a few kilometers Greece, and then I'll be in Turkey. I have many countries today. And yes, it was actually the most direct route without highways, so I'm not doing the Greece detour because I went to another country or so on my route. I'm actually doing it just following Google Maps from here. So that's how this part of Greece looks like. It's utterly empty. There is almost not a single car here. Made it to Turkey. Unfortunately, I was asked to delete everything I filmed on the border. What a surprise, I was waiting for that to happen. The Greek side was quite strict. They wanted to see quite a lot. They also wanted me to open the tent, but then I asked them how much time they have. So they decided maybe not to do it. Turkish side as well, I had to take out all my boxes. And I also had to open the tent a bit, but not unfold it completely. They do make you feel a bit small, like passing an exam or so. Anyway, it worked. I also smuggled in the parts for Mert in Istanbul. I think I have to make sure to publish this video after exiting Turkey again. But yeah, I would say success and hello Turkey. Bad news. My goal was to avoid highways on the entire trip, but somehow if I put in an avoid highways on Google in Turkey, it doesn't really work because this is where I ended up. Oh well, Turkey is a big country. I don't plan to stay that long here, so maybe I will make an exception in Turkey just to make a bit better progress here, because a few thousand kilometers to go in Turkey, so highways it are. Okay, first some of those trips I'm getting fuel for less than €1 per liter. I think I can get used to that. Now we'll have quite a side quest again, and the side quest will be to survive Istanbul traffic on a Friday. I was warned that driving through Istanbul is something specific. It's a huge city. I'm already driving through some areas outside the city for almost an hour, and I still didn't reach the city itself. So far the traffic is completely fine. I mean, in between there were many cars, but it was flowing mostly really well and pretty relaxed. So let's see if the traffic is actually quite fine after all, or if there's still something waiting for me. Right now I'm heading straight to the ferry, which will take us over to the Asian side of Istanbul, over the Bosporus. So see you there. Incredible. First have to pay some monies. Hello. To Asia. Perfect. How much? 155. Thank you. standing on the Bosporus on a boat, and Theodore's underneath me basically on that deck. Absolutely great. Beautiful ferry ride, made it to Asia. We look at this view. And I have to say, somehow to be on a ferry with Theodore, crossing the Bosporus, that's a pretty cool feeling. I have to say that does feel special. 36-year-old car, has seen so much already, but I'm quite sure Theodore's never been here yet. But yeah, this little guy still squeezed himself in front of me in the line when entering the ferry, and now he's the one who forgot to be at the car on time, but that should be fine. I'm on vacation. That's it for now. Thanks very much for watching, and make sure to tune in next Saturday where we'll be exploring Turkey and entering into Georgia. There'll be many beautiful mountainous landscapes, some nice encounters with locals. So make sure to subscribe, like and comment if there's something you want to tell me, what I can do better in future, or what you liked about this video, and see you next week.